Good day, Doctor, and also others. We are Group 5, going to present about Proton Holdings Berhad for international business and globalization. To understand Proton's journey in the global market, we first need to explore the concept of globalization and international business. Globalization refers to the increasing interdependence of the world's economy's culture, driven by factors like trade, technology, and migration. International business, on the other hand, involves commercial transactions that take place between entities in different countries. For Proton, this includes exporting vehicles, forming strategic partnerships, and entering new markets. Proton, Malaysia's first national car maker, began by focusing on the domestic market. In 1985, it launched the Proton Saga, Malaysia's first national car under the leadership of Prime Minister Dr. Sri Dr. Mahathir Mohamad. Soon after, Proton began exporting to Bangladesh and other countries, introducing models like Vira, Satria, and Perdana. It also formed the Proton RT racing team and expanded into international partnerships with countries like China, South Africa, Thailand, and Europe. Proton now operates across the full manufacturing value chain with major facilities in Tanjung Malim and Shah Alam. In collaboration with ACO Technology, it launched the Proton Digital Experience in Kuala Lumpur to blend technology with lifestyle. Recently, Proton celebrated a major milestone: over 5 million cars produced in 42 years history. This clearly shows that today globalization is not just an option, but it's an essential.
Hello, it's me Sharmini. For criticism against globalization for Proton, first one is dependence on government protection. Proton survived because of tax breaks, tariffs, and so on. Studies show that it remains high-cost producer and survive more through the government help rather than market success. The second one is challenges in international partnership. The partnership with Mitsubishi limited the Proton growth. Mitsubishi didn't support the exports or use the local parts. For the example, Mitsubishi limited the Proton exports and rejected the local parts as inferior. The third one is export failure and limited global reach. Proton's cars didn't sell well overseas due to the poor standards and lack of support. For the example, by the early 2000s, exports were under 10% of sales, and the Proton had to leave the several foreign markets.
There are several reasons why Proton involved in international business and globalization. One of the main reasons was market expansion. By entering foreign markets like UK, Australia, and China, Proton aimed to tap into a broader customer base and generate higher revenue. Secondly, Proton needed economies of scale to remain competitive. By increasing production for international demand, the company could lower per unit cost and improve profitability. Next, Proton also aimed to build a global brand. Being present in international market enhances reputation and brand visibility. This, in turn, helps attract international partners, investors, and consumers. In terms of innovation, international expansion exposed Proton to new technologies which enables it to produce MPV models, well-planned X70, X90 cars, and many more. Last is for strategic alliances and partnerships. For instance, Proton alliances with Geely provided access to technology, expertise, and international networks. That's all.
For the mode of operations, the first one is exporting. Proton exported cars to countries like UK, Australia, and New Zealand. However, the exports remain low due to the poor sales and quality standard. The second one is joint venture. Proton formed a joint venture with Mitsubishi in its early stages. The partnership gave access to technology but limited Proton independence and export. The third one is foreign direct investment, FDI. Proton made limited investment in overseas assembly, such as in Iran and China. This effort saw a little long-term success where eventually scaled back. The fourth one is licensing and technical collaboration. Proton relied on technical license from Mitsubishi and Lotus. It helped Proton to develop its own car models and limited early innovation.
Now I will present the differences between Proton's domestic and international business operations. So Proton, as Malaysia's national car maker, began locally but later expanded globally to countries like Egypt, Pakistan, South Africa, and also Brunei. So first, I want to talk about Proton's domestic business. Proton operates mainly within Malaysia, and it only deals with only one currency, which is the Malaysian ringgit, follows Malaysian laws, and caters to Malaysian culture and preferences. Because of this, operating domestically is simpler and less risky for Proton, and logistics such as delivering cars and supplying spare parts are also much easier within the country. However, the domestic market size is smaller, limiting Proton's potential for growth. On the other hand, Proton's international business is actually more complex. Proton expanded to countries like I just mentioned before, Egypt, Pakistan. So each country has different currencies, legal system, and customer preferences. So this means Proton had to adapt. So let's say, for example, changing car specifications to meet local regulations or customer needs. Okay, next, operating internationally also carries higher risk, including political instability and currency fluctuations, which can affect Proton's sales and profits. And then shipping car overseas also involves dealing with tariffs, customs, and more complicated logistics. In conclusion, while expanding internationally brings many challenges, it allows Proton to grow beyond Malaysia, and through international business, Proton gains access to new customers, increases brand recognition, and earns more revenue. So this global exposure is important for Proton's future success in the competitive automotive industry.
Hello and welcome. In this presentation, we will explore Proton Holdings Berhad as a multinational enterprise, highlighting its positive impact and the challenge it faces. Proton Holding Berhad Malaysia National Chemical has significantly influenced the nation economic landscape through its operation and strategic partnership. As a multinational enterprise, Proton activities have spurred industrial growth, technological investment, and employment opportunities in Malaysia. So, the positive impact is economic growth. Proton has significantly boosted Malaysia's economy, contributing 40 billion to GDP. The automotive high-tech valley is expected to bring 32 billion in investment. Second, job creation and skill development. Proton has created over 700,000 jobs directly and indirectly. Its training programs have earned recognition for enhancing employee skills. Third, domestic component development. Proton has supported over 640 local suppliers, boosting domestic manufacturing. Its partnership with Geely has further improved technological transfer. For affordable cars, Proton has made car ownership affordable for Malaysians, offering budget-friendly vehicles that support local economic activities. And the last is supplier development. 87% of Proton local suppliers are collaborating with international companies, improving quality and technology standards. The negative impact of M&E first is overprotection and dependency. Proton early success relied on government protection, limiting its competitiveness. Now it is partially controlled by Geely, which is on 49.9%. Second is limited technology transfer and independent development. Despite the Geely partnership, Proton struggles to development its own technology, depending on Geely's expertise. Third is market share decline and competition. Proton faced stiff competition, leading to decline in its domestic market share. Fourth is challenge in international markets. Proton struggles with brand recognition abroad and face regulatory barriers in foreign markets. Five is needs for continuous innovation. Proton must invest in research and development, especially in electric vehicles, to stay competitive in a rapidly evolving industry. In conclusion, Proton has had a major economic impact on Malaysia, but it must balance foreign influence and local growth for a long-term success. Thank you.
There are positive and negative effects in the balance of payments. First, under the current account, the positive effect is export of vehicles. Proton export cars to various countries, including Pakistan, Egypt, South Africa, and the Caribbean. This earns foreign exchange and improves the food balance. The negative effect is the import of parts and technology, which some companies and technologies, especially under this partnership, may be imported, increasing the import bill. Under the capital and financial account, the positive effects is the FDI from Geely's, which Geely's 49.9% ownership is recorded as FDI inflow, boosting the Malaysian financial account. The potential risk is the profit repatriation, which Geely may repatriate its share of profit back to China, creating an outflow in the primary income component of the current account.
So now I'm going to talk about how Proton actually helps Malaysia's growth and employment. So the first one is drives Malaysia automotive exports. So Proton isn't just about making cars for Malaysians, it's also exporting to other countries. So every car Proton sells overseas helps boost Malaysia's export numbers and shows that Malaysia is becoming a strong player in automotive manufacturing. So this also brings more money into the country and improves our trade balance. And the second one supports economic growth and GDP. Proton's activities here at home, like building factories, doing research, and creating jobs directly add value to Malaysia's economy. So their work supports industries like manufacturing and engineering, which helps push up our country's GDP. So the third one is new models equals to more demand and innovation. So when Proton launches new models, especially ones with better technology and safety features, they attract more customers. So this kind of innovation keeps Proton competitive, not just in Malaysia but around the world too. And lastly, is a part of Malaysia's Industrial Master Plan or NIMP 2030. So Proton is a part of something bigger, which is the NIMP 2030. So by focusing on sustainable and advanced manufacturing, Proton is helping Malaysia move towards a high value and a high-tech future. Let's look at how Proton impacts employment here in Malaysia. The first one is direct and indirect jobs created. Proton has created thousands of jobs, not just directly in the company, but also across the entire automotive ecosystem. So this includes jobs with suppliers, dealerships, service centers, and many related industries. The second one is new R&D and marketing roles. As Proton aims to compete globally, they've also created more specialized jobs in R&D as well as marketing. So these roles are important to support innovation and help Proton stay competitive in the international market. Third one is more jobs in Shah Alam and Tanjung Malim. So these two important locations for Proton's operations are Shah Alam and Tanjung Malim. So after partnering with Gili, Proton expanded its plants there, creating ever more employment opportunities for the local communities. And the last one is technical training and upskilling for local workers. So besides creating jobs, Proton also invests in training local workers. They work closely with MARI, the Malaysia Automotive Robotics and IoT Institute, and have their own in-house programs to upskill employees, especially in technical and engineering fields.
Next is the foundations of ethical behavior. For personal ethics, leaders and workers at Norton are expected to act honestly and responsibly. The top management must show good behavior and make fair decisions. Employees are trained to know what is right and wrong in their job. In company ethics, there are code of conduct, which important has rules that guide how workers should behave. For good leadership, the company follows good management practice to make sure decisions are made fairly. And the CSR and environment, important this project to help the community and protect the environment. In law and society, Portal follows Malaysian laws, especially the anti-corruption rules. Since it works with global companies like PPB, it also follows international ethical standards. As Malaysia's national car company, Portal is expected to act in a way that makes the country proud.
I am Narmata, so I'll be explaining on ethical behavior. So ethical behavior in businesses isn't just about doing what feels right. So it's about following a framework grounded in legal principles. So in Malaysia, businesses like Proton operates within a set of laws that establish ethical boundaries and responsibilities. So these laws form the legal foundation that guides how businesses conduct themselves responsibly and also with integrity. So these laws govern essential aspects of business conduct such as anti-corruption measures, corporate governance, fair labor practice, environmental sustainability, voice whistleblower protection, and data privacy. So for an example, we can say as the MACC Act combat corruption by criminalizing bribery in both public and also private sectors, so ensuring transparency in operations. The Companies Act 2016 outlines directors' duty and accountability. So these laws create a structured environment and businesses like Proton must navigate to operate ethically and also legally. Proton integrates this law into its daily operating through structured compliance departments, comprehensive ethic policies, and employee training programs. These measures reduce legal issue and upholds Proton's brand reputation in both local and also international markets. Annual audits of reporting system ensure that they are not only meeting local standards but also aligning with global legal expectations. In 2018, Proton implemented a new supplier code of conduct in collaboration with Geely, its a strategic partner. This policy was introduced to ensure all suppliers adhere to anti-bribery laws and also fair trade practices, reflecting compliance with Malaysia's MACC Act and also global standards. For business ethics and ethical dilemmas, legal framework provide boundaries, but ethical behavior is often tested in gray areas where the law might be silent and ambiguous. Business ethics focus on principles such as honesty, fairness, integrity, and respect value that guide decision making beyond compliance. So, for Proton may face ethical dilemmas when trying to reduce production costs while ensuring fair treatment of workers. It may also need to make decisions about introducing new technology without compromising environmental safety. This situation requires careful and ethical judgment, choosing what is right, not just what is profitable. For an example, in 2020, during the COVID-19 pandemic, Proton was faced with the challenge of continuing operation while ensuring employee safety. Instead of pushing production, the company gave more importance to health protocols, allowed flexible work, and also temporarily reduced output or to protect workers. So showing that ethical decisions sometimes mean short-term sacrifice for long-term trust and also sustainability. Proton demonstrates its commitment to ethics through sustainable innovation like developing hybrid vehicle models to reduce emission. It ensures safe working environments through strict OSHA compliance. So the company also vets suppliers to prevent unethical practices like child labor. Additionally, Proton supports the local community through scholarships and also technical training, reinforcing its role as a responsible corporate citizen. Proton's partnership with local polytechnics and technical institutions under the Proton Apprenticeship Program not only help bridge education gaps but also recreates a fair opportunity pipeline for youth from underprivileged backgrounds and a great example of ethical business practice that goes beyond profit.
In conclusion, Proton Holdings has significantly impacted Malaysian automotive industry by contributing to economic growth, job creation, and local supplier development. Despite its achievement, Proton has faced challenges like reliance on government support and struggles in international markets. Moving forward, Proton must focus on continuous innovation, adapt to global market trends, and strengthen its brand's image to ensure long-term success. Thank you.